Welcome to Ecomo Excel. Today we will create a macro. Macros allow you to save a series of steps that you can later use in a new data report. Think about it as a recipe. This is a great way to automate daily, weekly, or monthly tasks. In order to access the macros, you need to have the developer option in your menu. If you don't have it, go to Options under File all the way to the bottom, then Customize Ribbon, and on the right side, you see you might need to scroll down. It's right here on Developer, so we just need to have it on. There's also the option of Automate and the most up-to-date Microsoft Office option, but I don't have that one yet. Mine is not that fancy. So once we hit OK, the developer tools should show for you. So let's take a look at our file today. So we have two um, sheets. The first one is a series of uh, sales for the month of March 2024. And the second one is for the month of April. Now, you might use a different software to pull in the information, and that's what this one is. Note that there's the same number of spaces at the top and the same number of columns across. So that is very important that if you're going to create a macro for a set of data, the new data that you receive should be formatted at the beginning in the same fashion. So now that we look at our files, we're going to get started. So I'm going to just position myself at the beginning here on record macro. Once I hit record, this is going to bring up a menu. We're going to name this sales underscore cleanup. You can also add a shortcut like a Control Plus. I'm not going to do that today, but you can do that. And then it will ask you where you want to save it. You can save it in your personal file or using this workbook or in a new workbook. I recommend keeping it on personal so then you can use it on your future files. And you can add a description. I'm just going to say clean up columns for new report. And then we're going to click OK. And we're going to start cleaning up our data here. So I'm going to hit OK. The first thing I'm not going to need is this area up here. So I'm just going to select them all the way on the rows. And I'm going to delete those. Next, I do want to see the date and the sales order and the customer, but the address, the city, and the state aren't that important for this report. Also the phone number. So we're going to hide those. We're going to select them and hide them. Then we have the item number and description, quantity, price. I don't really need the subtotal or the tag, so I'm going to hide those two. And imagine you might have a longer workbook, so this is just a simpler workbook. And after this, let's say this is all the information I want, but I also want it to be on a table. So I'm going to click Control T and hit yes. So this gets changed to a table. And this is the last step I'm doing on this sheet. So at this point, my data is ready to be analyzed. So I'm going to stop the recording. Now it comes the fun part. This is, it took us a couple minutes with the explanation to clean this workbook. So let's say the month of April's come around, you run your report, you got a new set of data, and instead of going in and doing all the steps that we just did, you go to your macros menu, and then our sales cleanup macro is going to be there, and you just hit run. And then once I hit run, you're going to see what happens. It's going to do all the steps that we just did in a fraction of the time. So I'm just going to hit run right now. It's giving us an error. I know why the error is coming up. Is because we have less rows on this file than the other file, which is something that can happen to you. So I'm just going to end it. I'm not going to go and try to debug it. So I'm just going to end it. And now we see it cleaned up those rows on the top, hide the columns that we needed hidden. So now they look pretty similar. And the only thing that happened here, since we had less rows, is that we ended up with some blanks. So you can just delete those manually, which is a lot less steps than if you would have done it from the beginning. So I've started to using macros on my daily task, and I hope that you can start using them as well. So I really hope you like this video. I also want to say thank you because we reached 10 subscribers so far. So please join us if you haven't. Give us a thumbs up and send any questions or features of Excel you'd like to see in the future. So just go and have a cup of coffee with the time you've saved today. Thank you.